Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about 7 mistakes beginner family hikers make on day hikes and how to avoid them. We thought it would be easy. It was just a short scenic day hike. We plan to hike for a mile or two. The trail is also rated as easy and moderate. We want to take beautiful photos and post some online. Smiling families and sunshine. What could go wrong, right?
I want to be carried.
You want to be carried?
Go, Katie, carry me.
No, I can't carry you, buddy. This is where we are now. Our kids are hungry and tired. Someone's shoes are hurting one's feet, and we still have not reached our destination. Have you experienced that too when hiking as a family with small kids? I know we do. If you are planning your first family day hike, we will share some of our mistakes. We will break this into 7 mistakes we have encountered on the trails. Mistake number 1, trusting the word easy or moderate. We did this hike in Bluestone State Park in Hinton, West Virginia. The trail was described as easy, so we gave it a go. And it was just 1.2 miles or 2.4 miles altogether. And along the trail, we would see several waterfalls, which we actually did. From the start of our hike, for the most part, easy trails are the best choice for us because they're better for the kids. But it was actually not easy.
There's the Bluestone. Oh, baby.
Wow.
It was going downhill steeply. Troy's boots lacked tread and he slept a few times. It did not help that it had snowed some. So once the snow melted, here came the muddy trail. We didn't check elevation gain, nor did we read recent reviews. We only looked at the distance. We haven't been doing this, and we failed to read more about the trail. I am still unsure whether you have to subscribe to all trails to get all the info about a certain hiking trail. We are still a working in progress, guys. It actually made me want to sign up for all trails, to be honest. Someone recommended this to me a couple of months ago because people reviews the trail so you know what elevation you're expecting or what kind of terrain you're gonna take. Easy or moderate trail can sometimes be too hard for a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. Hikers in places like Yosemite National Park might call something moderate that feels like climbing a staircase to the sky for kids. 2 miles can feel like 10 when you're walking uphill. So the lesson that we learned: always check elevation, terrain, and recent trail comments, not just mileage. Mistake number 2, we have enough water. This one we have not experienced badly. We started hiking not in the middle of summer, but close to fall, so the temperatures weren't too bad. There's only one hiking trail at Pipestem State Park that it felt too hot. We had water. Luckily, the trail that we chose wasn't that long, so by the time we got back to the car, we'd used all of our water. If the trail were longer, this might be a problem. We have to remember that kids dehydrate faster, and once they're thirsty, the mood shifts fast. Lesson learned from this: bring more water than you think you'll need, especially in exposed areas. Mistake number 3, underestimating hunger. Before we start to hike, I always ask the kids if they need to eat snacks first. Sometimes they will say they are not hungry at all, so we will keep snacks in the backpack. There was an instance when we hiked the Falls of Hills Creek in Hillsboro, West Virginia. The snacks I packed were mostly for Eli's choices, and I forgot Sammy's choice, which was a big mistake. Though he said he was not hungry before we started the hike, little did we know that after a mile in, he started getting hungry. By the time we reached the 3rd falls, he was already complaining about going back to the trailhead right away. He's hungry, so we weren't able to take more photos and footage of the 3rd falls. He could have eaten the snacks that we brought, but he preferred the snacks we left in the car. It was one of those mistakes that 2 choices of snacks are much better than 1. So the lesson we learned from this, snacks are non-negotiable. You can bring in trail mix, fruit, and you need to have a backup snacks if one doesn't work. Mistake number 4, the wrong shoes. Halfway up the trail one time, we heard Sammy's complaining that his feet were hurting. He used to wear boots that were not designed for hiking. They were a little heavy too. We learned from there and got him a new pair that is much better, and so far we have not heard any complaints. For Troy, his boots were not designed for hiking either. That was a problem, especially on muddy spots. We finally got him some hiking shoes with better tread. You really do not need expensive gear, but you do need grip and support. Blisters can ruin what should have been a magical day. Mistake number 5, starting too late. We are still learning from this mistake. Most of the time, we start late, especially if we are a couple of hours away from our destination. It is frustrating though during wintertime because the sun sets earlier than in the summertime. We are always at the destination around 11 o'clock. Big mistake. Kids move slower than hiking blogs suggest. They take longer breaks, just like over this weekend. We were supposed to hike 2 miles to and back. We arrive at the trailhead at noon. 2 miles doesn't sound bad as long as we are back at around 1 p.m. That day, we decided to go someplace after the hike. We did not anticipate that the kids would have many breaks, and the snow on the ground was slick. The terrain did not help either. This is what I was talking about, mistake number 1. We failed to check the terrain and elevation. Luckily, we were back at 1:30 p.m. and we were able to make it to the other place that we needed to go. Overall though, it was a very good hike for us. We felt refreshed and energized after each hike. So lesson from this, start early always. Mistake number 6, relying only on an app. Personally, we do not have a trail app on our phones. Many hikers that I watch on YouTube have trail apps on their phones. We figured that once we are in an area with spotty service, we won't be able to access it. Half of the trails that we did had spotty service. We always ask for printed maps if the state park's info desks are open. Once winter hits, we started printing the maps at home before going because we know some state parks close. Well, not the state parks or the trails, but their office. However though, it will only tell you the distance of the trail and the level of difficulty. It won't tell you about the elevation and the terrain. Some of them explains it on their description about the terrain that you should expect, but these are not very detailed. So I think that it is important to use the old trails because I did access it once. I don't know what happened, why I couldn't access some of them. You could actually read the reviews of hikers there. And most importantly, you should check all of this information prior to your hike. I will give you an additional info. If you are not familiar with the place that you're driving to, it is actually good to have a physical map. We actually have an atlas. We do not rely on GPS all the time. One time, we just drove for a while trying to find this waterfall. It did not only make me sick because of the curvy roads, but also made the kids restless and kept asking when we were arriving. Lesson from this, have a backup physical map. Mistake number 7, forgetting who the hike is for. Don't we want to take good photos once we reach our destination after hiking for a while, like the summit photo or the pretty waterfall photos? But instead, the kids wanted to throw rocks in the creek. Guess which one builds a lifelong love of the outdoors? It's definitely not the summit. The magic moments weren't at the top or seeing waterfalls. They were the sticks, the bugs, the laughter, and the look at this cool leaf. We adults are chasing distance. Kids were chasing discovery. Here's what changed everything. We stopped pushing. We sat on a log, shared snacks, laughed about how adventurous we were feeling, and suddenly it wasn't about finishing. It was about being together outside. Even though true that day didn't go perfectly, but it taught us how to hike as a family. So now we choose easier trails, overpack snacks, start early, let kids set the pace, and measure success in smiles, not miles. If you're planning your first family day hike, remember, it's not about conquering mountains. It's about building a memory. Start small, plan smart, stay flexible, and do not forget the snacks. If this helped you avoid your own hiking disaster, like and subscribe for more real-world family hiking trips. Until next time, bye!